Hey y'all, welcome back to Reality Check Please. I'm your host Cassie and happy Thursday. We are back to talk about some of the islanders who have taken a stand in support of Olandria given the recent events that have happened in the Love Island world. And so before we jump in, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know where y'all are watching from and let's jump right in. Now, before we jump into the actual statements that some of the fellow islanders have shared in the past few hours, I wanted to get a mental health check in. I know that I shared in a TikTok last night that for me particularly, it was a very heavy day, but I assume for all of Island fans, specifically Olandria fans, that it was such a hard and draining and emotionally heavy day for us all. So give me a mental check in. Let me know how y'all are feeling. And let's get into this. So I want to start off with Hannah's statement because Hannah's statement, I believe, is the first one that came out, hers and Shelly's. So Hannah took to her Instagram stories yesterday and shared this story. She said, I just want to take a moment to say that racism of any kind is completely unacceptable. No one should ever have to experience or hear hateful language directed at them ever. It's not something to be taken lightly or brushed off. And it's heartbreaking to see it happen to someone I care about. We all have a responsibility to call out racism when we see it and to create spaces that are safe, respectful, and inclusive for everyone. I wanted to kind of piggyback off of this mainly because a lot of people were saying, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday in our video, people were saying in our comments, and even in comments in general, I've seen them in different videos of content creators talking about this specific subject, that they want us to kind of just brush this off and pay no mind to it. While I agree, people are not making fun of Alandria's collab with Nyx or Awa the Kafir or her little nickname, Nicolandria. They're not making fun of Iris's pout or, for example, Amaya's voice and how it sounds like her raspy voice. This is all like superficial stuff, right? Stuff that like, yes, people are just going to say to get under your skin. No, this is something very, very serious. And if we choose to turn the blind eye and look away, then we are just as responsible for not helping educate people. And I think that it's very important that we at least address it. And trust me when I say I would rather not talk about Huda and Louie ever if I needed to, if I could. But that's not the reality of our channel. We are going to report about serious things when it comes to her because this is not the first time that she's caught in the middle of something serious like this, right? It's not like we're recapping her brand deals because I'm not. I do not recap her unless absolutely necessary. So I'll leave you guys with that. Moving on, the next Islander whose story I saw was Shelly's, and hers was a little bit lengthier, but understandably so. She might as well have put Huda's name on the statement. It was a little shady, but I love it, and I think it was warranted. She said, seeing what happened with a former Love Island's castmate and her partner laughing during a prank call that included a racist remark toward Alandria was disappointing to say the least. Racism isn't a prank, it's not entertainment, and it's definitely not something to laugh at. As a Black woman, it's painful to watch moments like this play out so casually because it shows how normalized disrespect and ignorance can become when people choose silence or humor over accountability. Having been on the receiving end of hate and racial comments, I know how deeply that can cut and would never wish that pain on anyone. Any form of racism should always be checked right away. There is nothing awkward about racism. It's disgusting and disheartening, and I will always speak on it. Let's not make light of moments like these. There's a bigger message here. Use your voice and stand up for what's right, no matter the time, place, or who's watching. As always, love and peace. I think Shelly said it beautifully, kind of similar to what we talk about, that we need to speak up when it's something this serious. And we are right there with her. When it comes to racism, something serious like this, we will always talk about it and speak out about it. I love how she said that any form of racism always needs to be checked right away. And I could not agree more. Let me know what y'all think of Shelly's statement down below. Next, we have our baby girl, Iris. I know when it comes to Iris and Amaya, I was wondering how they were going to respond to this particular subject, mainly because they are friends with Huda. We've seen Iris and Amaya go on her birthday vacation together. They seem to be very close in the real world. So I was wondering, and I was very curious to see how these girls were going to address it. But I think that they did beautiful as well. Iris says, I would like to take this moment to say I do not condone racism whatsoever. This is a topic that I don't take lightly and want to address because it's harmful and hurtful. I have never and will never support hate of any kind. I hope that we can all keep showing love and empathy toward one another. Again, I love that she addressed it. I'm kind of curious to see how her relationship with Huda and friendship will be moving forward along with Amaya. Last but not least, the final girl who spoke out from what I know as of this moment from Love Island cast, Amaya Papaya. She was the last girl from, the final five to say something. And I think it was because she was taking also some time to process what happened, gather her words together, considering that Huda is a really good friend of hers. But this is what she said. And this is what she said. It's important for me to address the video currently circulating on social media. I immediately reached out to all parties involved, directly and privately, but most importantly, Olandria, who was unfairly targeted. My heart instantly dropped for my fellow sister. Let me be abundantly clear. I stand firm against any form of racism and racial slur. It should never be overlooked or taken lightly. It's not okay and will never be okay. Social media should never be a platform to spread hate. Gentle reminder to be kind to all. I actually love that Amaya included that she reached out to all parties, specifically Alandria. Not that we deserve to be privy to any of this information, but that just kind of proves her personality, her love and loyalty to standing behind the right thing. That being said, I still am curious to see how their friendship will continue to evolve moving forward. Now for the boys who have stepped into the chat have been Jalen, Pepe, Jeremiah, and Nick, of course. Pepe took to his Instagram last night and said, I've taken time to reflect before speaking because this topic deserves care. I want to take a moment to be clear. While I'm aware of recent situations involving certain people, I do not condone racism or hate in any form. I stand against it completely, always been about respect and treating people right. I think that Pepe said it so perfectly. And I think that them as Islanders taking the time to process and speak on this clearly is something that needed to happen. So I don't blame them for not speaking out right away because you do not want to speak out of emotion. You want to speak very clearly and very powerfully in a statement addressing this. And so I commend him for that. Next, we have Nick and Jeremiah. They took to their Snapchat stories where Nick shared the same links that Ola did in her stories on Instagram after she made her statement yesterday morning. And then this last slide is where somebody asked Jeremiah on Snapchat, send Ola some love and support. I just know she needs it. He said, texted her and Nick the second I saw it. And honestly, I believe him because we all know that Jeremiah cannot stand Huda. And if anybody wants to see her held accountable more, it's probably Jeremiah himself. So I'm with you, Jeremiah. I'm with you on that. Last but not least, I wanted to take you guys over actually to this particular person's Instagram stories because Jalen actually shared a voice memo or a voiceover on his stories, sending his love and support to Olandria. And I think that if I shared it, it wouldn't be justice. So I want you guys to hear his voice because it is powerful.
I'm not fully sure what's been going on and because I really be out the way and stay out the way and mind my business. But one thing for sure, one thing we don't condone is racism and all that other bullshit. So, I'm with you all the way, all the way. That's crazy.
Now, we know that Jalen does not follow Huda. I think that a lot of these people do not follow her. And this is just further proving why they do not want to associate with her. And I do not blame them. Last but certainly not least, I wanted to talk about one person's statement in particular. And actually, she has no real correlation with Love Island. And that is Louie's ex-girlfriend. Christine O'Banner, she was also on seasons 2 of Perfect Match, and she won with Nigel. She took to her Instagram yesterday shortly after Olandria did and shared Olandria's statement with the same UNCF link. Here's one of the links she posted. She says, standing ovation response. This is powerful considering this is Louie's ex. I absolutely love the amount of support that Olandria is receiving right now. We also know that Leah Kateb followed her on her Instagram, and I think that that alone also speaks volume. It's kind of like a subtle, I got you, girl. And I love that for both of them. Finally, for the statements that I think that we've all been waiting for, Huda and Louis' final statements. Huda took to her Instagram last night and said, I've taken the majority of the day to reflect and collect my thoughts to make sure that this does not come off as disingenuous. Last night, I quickly posted a statement acknowledging my reaction to the racial slur that was said on Louie's live stream. I want to take this moment to more fully take accountability for my actions. I want to begin by saying I completely respect Alan, and it's extremely disheartening that anyone, actually a presumed child would find it excusable to use this type of language. And doing so only underlines the ignorance of the gravity that such a word carries. Olandria, it is now clear that this comment was directed at you, and I apologize for my immediate reaction. My reaction in that moment came off from being caught off guard, not from finding the word or situation funny. It was a nervous, uncomfortable reaction that I recognized was inappropriate. I want to be clear that I do not condone or tolerate anyone who uses such language, and I strongly encourage the individual responsible to reflect deeply on their words and the harm they've caused. I'm making a personal donation to the NAACP and encourage anyone who feels moved to do the same. I will also share a list of additional organizations that support racial equity, education, and mental health support so that anyone who wants to contribute can do so meaningfully. With love, Huda. Honestly, guys, everything from the beginning to the very end honestly like just irked me the wrong way. Something did not sit right from the very beginning. When she brings in the presumed child, that's when I'm just like, okay, you're trying to set the tone. What do we think of her statement, guys? And then again, trying to justify her actions as being completely caught off guard. And she was nervous and uncomfortable. No, I don't know. What do you guys think? And people are going to come into the comments and say she makes a statement like you guys are never happy. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I just think that how can we believe a woman who continuously shows her behind on not only national TV, but on social media? Like, truthfully, like, how are we ever going to trust her? I don't think that we ever will. Because the same way Andy clocked her and Andy checked her at the reunion when she says, I've done a lot of self-reflecting, and he says it's only been 3-4 weeks. And she's like, yeah, I've grown. You cannot take 24 hours to reflect and say that you've grown. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too judgmental because I just do not like her as a human being. What do y'all think? Pop off. To close this video off, we have none other than Louie Russell, and I'm going to share my thoughts on his statement afterwards, but let's just take a look at what he said. He said, I'd like to extend my sincerest apology to all those affected by the caller who used language that completely goes against everything we stand for. Huda and I were extremely caught off guard. As a Black man, I have greater empathy through my own lived experiences battling racism. And the idea that a flustered response to a very unnerving situation could be misinterpreted for me not taking the matter seriously is incredibly disheartening. I was extremely shocked that someone would so casually use harmful and dangerous language, and Huda and I both recognized the immediate need to end the call so we could process that what had just happened. We were shocked that I am so mad reading this. It's not even funny. We were shocked that what sounded like a young caller could so thoughtlessly speak that way. This was an extremely unfortunate situation, one that in no way reflects my values nor stop speaking for her. Like, stop speaking for Huda. Like, this is shit. It's pissing me the off. This was an extremely unfortunate situation, one that in no way reflects my values nor Huda's. We are both very proud of the way we've used our platforms to be a voice for those who are often underrepresented, especially on TV. We are even more motivated now to approach every audience interaction with respect, inclusivity, and care. Again, no apology directly to Olandria. This shit's pissing me off. And he used a ChatGPT response probably made by management or his PR crisis person and not once included Olandria's name. And honestly, that alone is pissing me off. I wanted to say all that and recap his statement by saying this was a completely different response that we got yesterday. Yesterday, we got Louie's real thoughts. The way he speaks is the way he typed out his initial statement. This particular statement, guys, I could literally bet money that he did not write the statement and that it did not one word came from his heart. This was a ChatGPT response, probably made by his crisis PR people or management people. Nothing reflecting anything of what he has said. Honestly, guys, am I the only one that's kind of upset that they keep trying to blame this on the caller and not take accountability and that they just reacted to what the caller said and that they were made uncomfortable? No, I am so sorry. I am not buying it. The way he is also speaking for Huda, and not even him because he did not write it. Whoever wrote this is speaking for him and Huda, and that is pissing me off. It's like, you are not married, but Louie trying to make this as like, this is me and my girl, like me. No, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I am not buying. And if anything, Louie's statement made me all the more upset. Like, truthfully, it made me more upset because of the fact that both him and Huda are trying to shift their focus on well, this is crazy that a child would say this word and it's alarming and we need to do better and be better. While I agree, people like this caller has no platform, okay? This caller is going to go down in history as not being known and never coming forward because this could have been, for all we know, a ghost caller, okay? It is your reaction. You both have over 1 million followers on your social media platforms. Louis himself said that they are both very proud of the platforms that they have. So why would we hold somebody that we don't even know existed? Like, for all we know, this could have been an AI generated voice, right? We do not know where this voice came from. The people that reacted the way that they did on a live for the entire world to see are the people with these platforms that Louis himself stated in his statement that we need to hold accountable. I don't know. I'm very upset. I do not think that they are genuine in the least in their statements. The fact that whoever wrote the statement for Louis could not even mention Olandria's name and they had to do a generic broad statement. I'd like to send my sincerest apology to all those affected by the caller. Like, I really have no words because this apology is worse than his initial statement. Like, it truly is. I would have much rather seen Louis's words for what they are, the way that he speaks, the way that he made that statement that first night. I would have much rather have loved to see that same verbiage in this statement. And the fact that we didn't just proves that this was not Louis. But that being said, I feel like I'm more drained listening to Huda and Louis' statements, an absolute ChatGPT response. Like, it made me more mad and it made me that much more emotional and drained. And so I am ready for this to be done and over with. However, that cannot be done until we address everything and hold the people that need to be held accountable. And so pop off in the comment sections. Let me know what y'all think. Mental health check-in. How are we feeling? Is anybody else feeling drained from those statements as well? Stay tuned for some shorts. If you guys are not following us, make sure you follow us. We talk not just Love Island. We talk Netflix, dating, reality. We talk Bravo, all that good stuff. We will be uploading some more shorts later on today, so stay tuned for those. As far as recaps, I think I am too drained to recap anything else. We will do a rapid recap of the Love is Blind reunion that happened last night and maybe do the full recap tomorrow when I'm feeling a little bit better. So with that being said, have a great rest of your Thursday and get some rest. Feed your soul with some positivity. Lift Olandria and cover her in prayers, and we'll catch you guys later on. Bye, y'all. Happy Thursday.